It's the Wait a Minute Show.
Bruh. Ain't that right, Lopan? Wait a minute. Book it. Really? Really?
The Wait a Minute Show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man, Jolani J.B. Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show, and I'm back again here on a Saturday, ready to go to give you your sports fix here on The Wait a Minute Show. But before I do that, let me go ahead and introduce my co-host, who doesn't like to be seen but always love to be heard. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lopan.
Indeed.
Yeah, so Lopan is in the building. He's here with us to talk about sports. And we're going heavy. This is all NFL talk. Training camp has already started. And now we got preseason games underway, real preseason game, the Hall of Fame game. You know, it's just a little primer and all that stuff. So, week one of the preseason has popped off and all that stuff. So we're going to continue our division talk. We're going to talk about the AFC South on this episode. And Trey Lance. Boy, it's getting hyped up out there. And my Lions has been on Hard Knocks. So you'll hear my take on that and some other stuff that we're going to talk about. But we are getting started right where all the hotness is, right where all the messages and all the talk is going on. And that is in the state of Ohio and by way of Cleveland. And that is by way of Deshaun Watson. Yes, so Deshaun Watson played his first preseason game. Look, it wasn't that stellar. It wasn't that hot. It wasn't that eye-catching, if you will. But it's preseason, and, the brother hasn't played in over a year at this point, so you only can probably expect so much. But what everyone is really talking about is what happened before the game was played. So he sat down, he stood because they were both standing up. And I apologize if I say the name wrong, but Aditi Kikunwala, I'm probably not saying the last name right, but from the NFL Network, she does awesome work. She always covers the AFC North, and she does an excellent job over there. But he sat down, or he spoke with Aditi, and she went ahead and just asked him straight up, and she's a respectable person in this industry. So for her to ask that, it's acceptable. Not everybody is going to be able to, walk up to Deshaun Watson, just start asking him questions. So Aditi just went ahead. She talked about, the game. She talked about going into it and everything, but she really got into the talks of the allegations and the suspension and the appeal and all that talk that's going on with Deshaun Watson. And he spoke up, and one of the things that he said that he hadn't said at all up until this point was that he, talked about impacting the lives of the women that are in this allegation or in this accusations against him. Now what it sounds like is that Deshaun Watson is taking, more responsibility for the situation. It seems like he's, definitely acknowledging some stuff. I'm not going to say he's acknowledging all and everything that was laid against him, but he is definitely, seems like he is speaking about it. And Aditi asked him, about the remorse thing, and that was one of the things that Judge Sue Robinson spoke about, and that his lack of remorse. And he didn't really just agree with it, but he did. From what I got from it is here's what I got from it. All right, let's just put it plain and simple with Deshaun Watson. What I got from it is that some things went on, some things that was in his control, and got way left, more than what it should have been. He's being, held responsible, or he's being blamed and, for it. And the responsibility that I think that people were wanting him to take, he didn't take the full thing. Now this thing is out with the NFL. The sixth game was out there. Now they appealed. This thing is going to be longer, so don't think it's going to go to 7 or 8. He talked, there was reports of him, trying to negotiate, maybe taking eight games and a $5 million fine, on that. I don't think the NFL is really looking at 8 games, $5 million. I think they are really pushing for the full year. Now, some people have said that it's going to be, could be 12 games. But I think the NFL is really going, far. But for Deshaun Watson to really come out and speak on this, what it says to me is that he is trying to get past this. He is trying to get beyond this. And it was something, that he was going to have to come out at some point, at some nature, and speak on it in his part, that he played in it. And again, I wasn't there. I don't have all the details. None of us have all the details because it's not released, like that. But just him coming up and saying, though, what he said about impacting these women's lives, to me, that shows that, hey, there is some stuff. There is some truth to what was the allegations about it. How much of it is true, we'll probably never know because he settled with a lot of the with the women. So I think one case that he has right now has not been settled. So I'm pretty sure they have some type of non-disclosure or you can't speak about the situation based off of this. So, unless, someone just really slips up and just say, I don't care, we're not going to find out the whole thing. But I do think, now Deshaun is out there saying like, look, I gotta, get beyond this. And I don't think and here's the thing. I don't think it was, how shall I say it? I don't think it was, I think people were looking at this as far as like, who's lying, who's what. There's some truth in there. I think on both sides is how much was played on it. I'll say at the end of the day, and Deshaun is, obviously has mentioned it, is that, look, he played a part in this. He played a big part in this situation and how he got here. So now, at this point, he's really just going to have to deal with whatever it is that's going to be laid out to him. And the ultimate thing that I, really hope that everyone gets from this is that people are able to still continue on with their lives, because this can affect people in different ways. It can linger, and I'm hoping that anybody that was impacted by this is that they can get through it. They can be they can just get through it. Let me just say that because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But Deshaun, if he gets the year, I'm not going to be surprised, by it. When you have those many cases that's out, it's like, wait, come on now. Something, somebody's over here. Everybody is, saying something. But at the end of the day, Deshaun's going to serve some games, and we hope that everybody that was impacted, like he was saying, but from us, we hope that everybody that was impacted, from this can get through this, man, and prosper and do bigger and better, better things. You don't want this to linger. You don't want this to take, anybody down. You don't want this, to negatively impact. But it's a tough situation for the people that were involved in this. So I think Deshaun Watson is just really now in the mode of, let me try and get past this, do whatever it is that I got to do, and then and play football from there on. So we'll see what goes on from that. Now, I've been talking about divisional rounds, and we're going to continue to do that here on the Wait a Minute Show. And we've talked about the NFC South. We've talked about the AFC West. The NFC West, we talked about a lot of divisions, so we're narrowing this thing down. We're almost done, and we'll have everything done before week 1 kicks off in the NFL. Normally, I have a guest on here, right? Well, some things you just got to do yourself sometimes. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the AFC South. Don't worry. I still got people lined up for the rest of the division, so you can check that out later as it comes out. But I'm going to talk about the AFC South, right? AFC South, Jaguars, Titans, who else we got? Houston, and the Indianapolis Colts, right? So let's start with the Houston Texans, right? What is after all the stuff that, that happened in Houston, what is the expectations? What are we looking for from the Houston Texans? I'm going to say not much, right? Not much. And here's why I say not much. They are obviously in a rebuild. They are obviously starting over. They are obviously trying to figure things out. You got a new coach in Lovie Smith. You got Davis Mills, who's going into his second year, still trying to figure out this quarterback, situation. Got some draft picks in Stingley and, unfortunately, John Mechie doesn't look like he's going to play. More than likely, he's not going to play this year. He's going to be back next year, so hopefully everything works out with him. They drafted Damian Pierce. You got Marlon Mack and others, on this team. So you're in this transition, and it's finding our identity and discovering our culture and what we are, right? So that's why I say I'm not expecting much from Houston. It's going to take some time. Especially Lovie Smith is coming in, and he's going to have to, find his guy, his mixture of what he wants. They have some nice pieces there to build off of in Houston. They're just not there yet. It's going to take them a little bit of time, but I do think that they will get there sooner than later, especially under Lovie Smith. He showed what he was able to do in Chicago. He went to the college ranks. He did some work there as well. Now he's back in the NFL. Working with grown men. I think a guy that went to the Super Bowl, that coached in the Super Bowl as a head coach, will get some positive output, from the team. It's just going to take some time. So that's why I'm not expecting much from the Houston Texans, right? Now, a team I am expecting some difference and some different, results is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes. And I don't even have to spend that much time on this, ladies and gentlemen. This is plain and simple, right? Will the Jags be better than they were last year? Of course. Why will they be better? Well, let me tell you. I'm glad you asked. First overall pick, Trayvon Walker. That's going to be an addition on the defensive side, right? And they picked up some other pieces. They picked up Devin Lloyd as well, the linebacker core. You got Travis Etienne, who didn't get to play at all last year. He'll be playing this year. And you got some added additions in Christian Kirk in the wide receiver spot to go along with Marvin Jones, who they already have there. This is year 2 of Trevor Lawrence. We always expect that the quarterback take that next step, go to, another level. I think he will. It can't get any worse than what it was last year for him. It's going to be better. He's doing the right things. He's been speaking with other quarterbacks, Peyton Manning, Troy Aikman, all of those. And Peyton Manning is an excellent choice to speak with because Peyton Manning went through a rough rookie year. Not quite like what Trevor Lawrence went through, but he went through a rough rookie year and he bounced back. So this is all about a bounce back. This is about learning. This is about getting through adversity as well, because Trevor Lawrence at this point, he probably didn't even know what 2 wins or 3 wins in the season losing was, where he found out that last year. So he's going to be better. But ultimately, I was waiting to the end to say this. Ultimately, the biggest thing is what I talked about last year, is that Urban Meyer is not there, right? Urban Meyer is not there. And it is something to be said about when you come in to a situation where you don't smell the dysfunction, right? The air is clear, right? The baggage is not there. So with a guy like Doug Peterson, who has experience in the NFL, won a Super Bowl as well. A lot of people, speak highly of him. Also played in the league. So, he understands, the NFL culture. That's going to help with that. Urban Meyer coming into the Jacksonville situation, it was just baggage, and it wasn't good for Urban Meyer to be coming in with it, and it wasn't good for the team having to deal with that. And then as the season went on, we know what happened and what transpired. Adding on to that, it's just like you can't do it. So you don't have any of those type of distractions. And there's something to be said when you just come to work and worry about football. Right? Football is already hard enough to figure out and do. But football and then all the other stuff and the media and everything that gets involved with that, there's something to be said about that. So they don't have to deal with that. So I do think with the additions of the players that I just mentioned and getting Travis Etienne this year back from injury, that in itself is going to be better. But just the fact that you don't have all the questions and all the discussions that you were having last year, you don't even have to worry about that this team will be better. And when folks come to work, they're going to feel even more refreshed with the environment that they're in. I keep telling y'all there is something to be said, when it comes to a culture, right? So that moves us on to the Indianapolis Colts, right? So they changed up a little bit as well. Here in the ATL, we don't got a guy in Matt Ryan that they used to have since '08. Now he's moved up to Indianapolis in a trade. So now the Colts it's like the same question, though. The same question as it was with Carson Wentz last year. Is this team, ready? Is this team bound to really jump in the mix, to really be in the competition and conversation, of an elite team, right? We don't know yet. The expectation is they better had, because with Carson Wentz, it didn't play out like they thought it would. They were at least in the hunt for the playoff for the last week. It didn't play out like like they wanted it to, taking a bad loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But now you got Matt Ryan, a guy, again, former MVP, played in the Super Bowl, had Pro Bowl, has experience and everything. I think the thing for Indianapolis Colts fans that you need to, probably be happy about or be glad with getting Matt Ryan is that you got a guy who's been there before. I think for Matt Ryan, what helps him out, that was a little bit different than it was here in the ATL, was that, remember, Matt Ryan, when he was the high of highs, right? High of highs, he had a legitimate run game. Well, he's going to have that, definitely. He's going to have that offensive line. He's going to have JT back there running the ball. He also still is going to have, a guy that everyone's expecting to, make a tremendous leap in Miller, the kid Miller. Anthony Pittman. And defensive wise, Indianapolis got some players, on that side. So, yeah, they should be taking that next step. I do expect them to make the playoffs. I do expect Matt Ryan to be, a difference maker there. I'm not going to go as far as to just say that Super Bowl competition that we're going to be talking about with them, but they could be on the cusp of something like that, right? So not there yet, because there's a lot of teams in the AFC that you got to deal with. And one of them is in their own division, which is the Tennessee Titans. So the Tennessee Titans, can they win the division? Can they win the division? Now, their competition is who I just spoke about, the Indianapolis Colts. They don't have to worry about Jacksonville, even though they're, I think ahead of Houston, but they're still in that process. So they don't have to worry about Houston and Jacksonville right now, right? Their main thing is, winning division and can they beat the Colts? I'm not necessarily on board to say yes right now, right? Because you trade A.J. Brown for Treylon Burks. Well, you didn't trade him for Treylon Burks, but you're expecting Treylon Burks to come in and give the production. He's a rookie. Everybody's not going to come in, and I'm not saying that Treylon can't do it, because we only seen the sample size of him so far this season. But to come in and just really to put like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and those type of numbers on somebody, it's not fair to anybody coming in. You do expect him to do well on it, but you're trying to replace A.J. Brown, who at this point is a veteran in the league. Derrick Henry. My concerns is that he gets so much attention. It's just like, without A.J. Brown, the brother was getting probably 9. He may get all 11 in the box now without A.J. Brown out there. So it's just can they replace A.J. Brown quickly? Tannehill, Can he bounce back, from some of the stuff that we saw in the playoffs, and stay away from the mistakes? And then what Derrick Henry, are we getting? He is tremendous, right? Tremendous. And we've seen this before. And you just worry that sometimes, with running backs, everybody says, the wear and tear, it's a tough position. It is a tough position. So I think, with Tennessee, this kid, Hassan Haskins, yeah, he from Michigan, Wolverines, go blue. But I do think they're going to need to incorporate a second running back a little bit more than what they have previously, just to give Derek, some time and a break. But as far as like winning the division, I'm not willing to say that. I think I think the Indianapolis Colts could possibly have something to say about that. They can win it. I'm not saying it's totally not 100% that they would, but it's closer with the changes that has been made in the AFC South. Some things that's going to be moving around, and we got some questions and everything. But Tennessee is still in the mix. So speaking of in the mix, man, you in the mix here with your man Jelani JB Bodie. This is the Wait a Minute Show. We talking about sports like we always do. We'll keep talking about sports. So I think Lopan, if you go ahead, Lopan, if you go ahead, get the. You have to. Lopan does stuff off screen to try and distract me, right? So when he tries to distract me, it ticks me off. Indeed. Okay. Well, we're gonna take a break, and then when we come back from the break, man, let's talk about Trey Lance. Boy, yesterday's game, everybody's gonna be talking about it.
Do you want your next Atlanta event to be memorable? If so, have Drink in Color at your next function. Drink in Color is sophisticated bartending that creates signature cocktails for your special occasion. Wow your family, friends, and business associates next time with Drink in Color. You can contact the owner, Kiki Lewis, at 678-813-7102. That's 678-813-7102. You can also email her at drinkincolor@gmail.com and follow on Instagram at drinkincolor. And tell her you were referred by the Wait a Minute Show. Drink in Color, cocktail catering. Let the cocktail sparkle at your next event.
Do you like making an impression? Who doesn't? Well, when you want to dress to impress for less, check out Rail Scott at Prime Ties to Go on Facebook and Instagram. Quality accessories for men and women at low prices. Everything from ties, bow ties, watches, bracelet, earrings to pocketbooks. Don't miss out. Check out Rail Scott, the owner, at Prime Ties to Go. That's Prime Ties, the number 2, Go on Facebook and Instagram.
Ha ha! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and you are listening to
It's the Wait a Minute Show.
and watching this on YouTube by way of the waitaminuteshow.com. So make sure, if you haven't already, man, turn on your likes, turn on your notifications, turn on your notifications and subscribe to the show so you get those notifications every time your boy goes live. You can catch it live, or you can just make sure you're notified so you can catch it on the at your leisure to play it back. So let's move on, man. Trey Lance, boy. So the talk has been about Trey Lance taking over for Jimmy Garoppolo, and he just did that. Yesterday, last night? Yeah, that part where he opened it up, 76-yard touchdown in his first preseason game as the number 1 starting QB. So now it is open it up for like Trey, right? All the hype. Is he the real deal? Is it Trey Lance? Is it Trey Lance? I think they call him Trey Area or something like that. But let's hold up for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Slow down, right? Look, now, fantasy football, in my Dynasty League, Yeah. I'm like, Trey. But in reality, let's give this gentleman some time. Remember, this is his first full year, right? He stepped in for Jimmy just because he got hurt. So he got that year experience sitting. Obviously, you're going to expect some. I do think he's going to do well. I just don't think, hey, if he has a bad game, don't start looking at it as like, oh, this is a failure, with Trey Lance. Because he has to still go through his bumps and his highs and lows just like every other quarterback has. Very few quarterbacks get to just come into this league and just have instant success and continue success. So my thing is be patient with Trey Lance. Lynch and why am I forgetting, the head coaches? Shanahan, sorry. Lynch and Shanahan, look, when they moved up and they made that move to get Trey Lance last year at number 3 overall, I said they know something. They see something, they feel something, and they want to do it the right way, right? They want to do it the right way. And so I knew this was going to be a process. So you still got to let that process play out. But I do think he's going to do some things that really get people excited. And he's going to have some, bumps in the road where you're going to be like, what? But he got to go through them. And the only way for him to get better is that he do it through playing, right? So Trey Lance, bring it down a little bit, but you can lightly, Trey. And that's fine. Just don't take it up too high. Speaking of high, your boy got excited. Not like that, but your boy got excited this past week. Hard Knocks, first episode came out, and your guy loves these Detroit Lions. Year in and year out, I cry and everything else, but I come back every year because, I believe, this is the year we're going to turn things around. And I'm watching Hard Knocks, and I'm right there again. Yeah, it's the beginning of the season. I'm all amped up and everything. But, by the end of the season, if we struggle, I don't know. But watching the first episode, man, slowly but surely from last year, like when Dan Campbell came in, man, I had my reservations because I was just like, what is this guy talking about? But as time has went on, I'm just like, okay, I get it. This is him. He believes. I saw this team fight for him. And then going into Hard Knocks this year, I think you saw that as well, is that this guy, he looks at, he has a job to do and he's going to do that job. But also he really cares about, winning. He really cares about trying to change this culture in Detroit. And I think, it was what was needed from the previous regime that was there. I believe we had it, with Jim Caldwell, but they decided, unfortunately, they wanted to go, in a different route. So now Dan Campbell is here. Watching it, guys believe. He got experience, he got his coaches, but guys believe. And that's one thing is when you got guys to believe, and then if you can get someone to buy in that is credible with the group, and they start seeing it, then, other things happen. Now, have all of that happen? I don't know. I don't think so just yet. But if they can start out and they got a tough game against the Eagles week 1, then that train slowly will start gaining speed. But guys like Jamal Williams on Hard Knocks, I knew he was going to be awesome because I follow that guy on Instagram and I've seen him when he was in Green Bay. So when he came to Detroit, I was excited last year. That's the type of energy that you need, on that team. You got a guy in Jared Goff. I've started, getting on the Jared Goff train as well. He's calm and, he doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low, and you need you need that on a team. And then just the additions that they added to it. So Hard Knocks, man, I think people are going to find out a little bit more about the Detroit Lions that us Lion fans already know, about the team. And I think this year they're going to gain, some not some fans that, just say I'm a Lions fan. No, but I think they are going to gain some fans that understand what they're trying to do there, and they're going to root for the Detroit Lions to have some success this year. So with Hard Knocks, I can't wait. Episode 2 is going to be coming up. We took a tough L, even though it's preseason, still was a tough L to the ATL. They're going to be on me and talking about me, even though it's a preseason game. They're going to be like, yeah, we beat you, Jelani. Indeed. I'm not paying attention to you, Lopan. But I like it. I like it. And I think you're going to see some other guys here that's going to, you're going to be like, all right, these lines, not too bad. Not too bad, right? This is interesting. Speaking of my Lions play, a traditional game, and that is the Thanksgiving game, right? November, Thanksgiving, Thursday. I'm all excited and everything. But another tradition happens after these games because you got 3 games during Thanksgiving Day. But another tradition is going on, and that is Black Friday, right? Now the NFL is looking at possibly doing, or they actually will be doing, maybe next year or 2024, of actually playing a game on Black Friday. So Amazon, who bought the TV rights or got the TV deal for Thursday night football, has decided, hey, maybe, we do a Black Friday. Black Friday. I don't know how to feel about this. A Black Friday game. Now, the thing about it, Black Friday is not the same of what it used to be when I was growing up and when I was younger, where people used to pack, the stores and be all pressed up against the wall and all that good stuff, trying to get in. And, sometimes fisticuffs would happen and people, fighting and all that. That stuff don't happen no more. Now they right there on their computers, fighting through trying to get stuff. And I think, I would be interested in seeing it. One, because whoever plays that game, at least, coming off a game on Sunday, because I will hope that the NFL don't do anybody dirty and have them play on the Monday night and then play again that week. But coming off a Sunday game, to give them an extra day, because it's already tough enough, trying to play Sunday and then play on Thursday. But to give them an extra day, I think that helps out, with a team or with the teams that would be playing. But then it also, kind of gives NFL fans something after. You done ate all that turkey. You're feeling good. You slept about 2 or 3 times and everything. You done did your Black Friday shopping, so you done worked up, another hunger to go back, for leftovers and everything. And why not eat leftovers with a Black Friday game, right? I don't know what time they're talking about playing it. I would assume that it would be a primetime game on it. But yeah, I think that would, maybe work. I'm interested in catching a game. Now, I don't want that to just turn into day in and day out, now we got games on Friday. No. But one game on Black Friday, I'm willing to, look into it and see, how it would work. But put the two little, things together, 2 traditions together and play it out. Black Friday game. Or maybe they end up, splitting it because it's 3 games on Thanksgiving. They put 2. Probably not. They're gonna keep running with that. But then 2 and 2. I don't want 3 and 2. 2 and 2, will be good, or 3 and 1 format like they are currently proposing it. But Black Friday, hey, check it. You're probably gonna be seeing a game on Black Friday, right? Let's take another break. When we come back from the break, man, I didn't say this before, but I got a Big L award that I gotta hand out. Yeah, and I probably will have to stay in the house after I give this one out, but I got to do it. So when we get back, finish up NFL talk, and then I'll give my Big L award. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back after some more words.
Do you want your next Atlanta event to be memorable? If so, have drinking color at your next function. Drinking Color is sophisticated bartending that creates signature cocktails for your special occasion. Wow your family, friends, and business associates next time with Drinking Color. You can contact the owner, Kiki Lewis, at 678-813-7102. That's 678-813-7102. You can also email her at drinkincolor@gmail.com and follow on Instagram at drinkincolor. And tell her you were referred by the Wait a Minute Show. Drinking Color, cocktail catering. Let the cocktail sparkle at your next event.
Do you like making an impression? Who doesn't? Well, when you want to dress to impress for less, check out Rail Scott at Prime Ties to Go on Facebook and Instagram. Quality accessories for men and women at low, counted low prices. Everything from ties, bow ties, watches, bracelet, earrings to pocketbooks. Don't miss out. Check out Rail Scott the owner at Prime Ties to Go. That's Prime Ties, the number 2, Go on Facebook and Instagram.
He's the brain of operations.
I'm telling you right now, book it!
And him, he's along for the ride. But together, they bring you sports like you've never heard before. The Wait a Minute Show, a new way of discussing today's trending sports topics. And now, back to the show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
Indeed, Lopan. Indeed. So we're back. I'm going to get into this Big L in just a moment, but I want to talk about, earlier we talked about Deshaun Watson and his whole situation that's going on. And now the Cleveland Browns, right now, Jacoby Brissett is supposed to be the starting quarterback, but people are talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. Should the Cleveland Browns bring in Jimmy Garoppolo at this point, because Deshaun may be missing a lot of games? Well, and I think he will be missing a lot of games. I thought about it, and literally right before I was about to come back, I changed my mind. I was going to say, yeah, Jimmy G, get out there, but no. And here's why, right? If you were going to do that, you should have made that move weeks ago when Jimmy was first available after he cleared his physical and he was able to go out and practice. You should have got him out there. You should have got him in the mix at that point. Get him there. Get him, under the playbook, all that good stuff. But you already told Jacoby Brissett he was going to be the starter, right? So to me, you got to stick with that. Jacoby, if I remember right, he was there last year, so he knows the offense. He's going to know it better than Jimmy. Jimmy is going to be playing catch up, and he's going to be trying to figure this thing out as the season is going on. So you might as well just go ahead and play Jacoby Brissett. And if Jacoby got to play the entire year, so be it, right? Because whatever right now that they're doing, bringing in Jimmy. Now, maybe you could bring in Jimmy, and it depends on what happens, with his contract situation with San Francisco. But if something happens where, Jimmy gets cut and you might can, pick him up for cheap, then, yeah, you have him come in and be the backup just in case. But at this point, they got their offense. They got their identity. They got set what they want to do. The backup, plan is that Deshaun hopefully doesn't get, suspended for the entire year, and and then you can still put Deshaun back in, but he's going to miss more than 8 games. I'm going to say that he's going to miss more than half the season at least. So let Jacoby Brissett, he's already there, play it. I was thinking about bringing Jimmy in, but after I thought about it more and more, I said I gotta go ahead, work with what you already have put in place. So that's my thoughts on Jimmy G. I don't think it would be fair, because then they're going to put these expectations on Jimmy that probably would be unrealistic for his situation coming in on it. So I mentioned more, right? So the reason I mentioned that, because it is time for the Big L Award, ladies and gentlemen, where I hand out Biggest Loser award. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get Lopan montage that he loves.
And you are one pathetic loser.
Let's go.
We're gonna see the best collection of losers this park's seen for many a year.
La loser.
Le who? The her.
Oh, so, ladies and gentlemen, let me first commend, because this was awesome, and to me, I do think it was thoughtful on their part and everything, because things could have, it could have went bad, right? So I said more and more and more. The reason I said more and more and more as well is because DJ Moore, right? Carolina Panthers wide receiver, man. I don't know if you've seen this video out there, but it just went out, I want to say this morning or yesterday. But the Panthers obviously had a game going on, and fans get there. They get excited. Maybe they in mid-season form for the season. I don't know. But this video shows two fans, and they're in each other's face. Maybe it looks like it's about to go down, and and everything. But DJ steps in and says, "Hey, let's think about this. Let's chill. It's not worth it. Look around. We got family members. We got kids. And I mean, is it really worth it?" And he helped de-escalate the situation on it. So kudos to DJ Moore, for that. It's like, we don't need that. We got enough going on in the world as it is. We don't need, somebody, throwing hands and all that stuff, because other people can get hit. And not too far from them, it was some kids and everything. So it could have went bad if it got physical. So he was just trying to prevent that. So kudos to him. I commend DJ Moore. So DJ Moore is not getting the Big L award, right? No, that is not a loser's activity. But what I was just baffled about was that DJ was there by himself. And I'm thinking, like, where's security? Where's a staff member? Somebody, because he climbed up on that first row. So that it wasn't like it was level with where he was standing and he was leaning over trying to tell people, chill. He climbed up on the stands, and he's standing up, and I'm like, he's at risk of falling himself. He's at risk. I don't know how these people would have took it, because somebody could have been easy, like, I don't care if you DJ Moore, man, you better get out my face, and pushed him or something. It still could have been bad. So where was the backup for DJ Moore? Even if someone was just like, we got to get DJ out of there, right? So again, I commend DJ, but where was the backup, ladies and gentlemen? To go up in there, you can go around the stands or something like that, or walk up and be like, hey, or something. DJ was handling it and holding it down all by himself. And I saw some other people there. I don't know if they were security. It looked like they might have been some other type of staff member, because they were like, man, that ain't my department, man. Somebody better get DJ, on it. But it's like, you gotta back him up, right? Get in there, just say, hey, yeah, DJ's right. Let's calm down, right? And then there was nobody to be seen. Maybe DJ just said, I got it. Y'all fall back. I got this. I'll take care of that. And they said DJ gonna take care of it. But I don't think that's how they really wanted to work out. So for DJ Moore not having no backup, man, at least just to be there in case he slipped so you could catch him, you gotta take this big L.
See? Another loser.
Indeed as well, Lopan. Yeah. Okay, security don't. Staff members, security for Carolina, don't come looking for me. Please. All right? Because they'll be like, oh, you want some security? You want some staff? You want some staff members? We'll show you, Jelani JB Bodie, some staff members, some security. I don't want no problems, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, man, that is it. Another episode in the books here at thewaitaminuteshow.com. Make sure on the YouTube channel, if you are not already, like and subscribe. Turn on those notifications so you can catch the shows. And all previous shows that's out there as well, you can catch that. And we'll keep doing like we always do it here on the Wait a Minute Show. So I'm going to get out of here, man. I'll holler at y'all later. We'll do it again. Some more NFL division talk, man. We got some other ones. We got the AFC North, and we got the NFC East and the AFC East that's still left on the table. We're going to cover that as well. So if we haven't touched your team, don't worry. We will. And you may be upset at me what we say. You may not be. But we'll be back and we'll do it again. So for your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show, I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. 2 things as always. Stay positive and push forward. And I'll holler at y'all later. Lopan, let's go.